Hello, this is Chef John from foodwishes.com with garlic and blue cheese green bean almondine. That's right, I never get excited over green bean side dishes, but today is no exception. However, we have taken one of the most cliched side dishes in history, the venerable green bean almondine, and we tricked it out a little bit with some roasted garlic and blue cheese, and it was really good. So step one, we're going to roast some garlic, which is so easy. We're going to take a whole head of garlic, and we're going to cut the top third off with a sharp knife, just like that. That's going to expose all those cloves. There you go, full clove exposure. By the way, do not throw away the top. We're going to roast all of it. So I did that to 3 whole heads of garlic. Once the garlic's cut, we're going to take a heat-proof dish. Any kind of baking dish will work. I'm going to line it with some heavy-duty aluminum foil. I'm going to place in our heads of garlic. All right, cut side up. I'm going to toss in the tops. Now you'll notice some of the cloves came loose from that top piece. That's okay. Just toss them in. I'm going to douse that with a little bit of olive oil and a nice big pinch of salt. And then we're simply going to fold it up. And I saw a chef do this on TV a few weeks ago, and they made it look so complicated, like they were trying to build some kind of hang glider to escape from a mountaintop prison, which, by the way, would be a cool movie. But anyway, this is not complex. Just fold it up like that. This does not have to be airtight. You're just trying to shield it from direct heat. So once that's wrapped, we're going to pop it in a 375-degree oven for about an hour or until this happens. Those cloves roast to a gorgeous golden brown. And you can see here the knife will go right in. Those are just completely soft. All right? And once those are cold enough to handle, we're going to remove all the garlic. By the way, do not toss that amazing olive oil at the bottom. All right, you can add that in also. Now you can pop these cloves out with a knife, sort of one at a time. Like I said, they should be completely soft. Or if you want, you can grab the bottom of the clove, the pointy end, and squeeze, and everything will squeeze out that cut end. So you can do it either way. But bottom line, remove everything you can, including every last drop of that oil. Very flavorful. Do not waste it. Okay, so our roasted garlic is done. We're going to just reserve that until needed. Next up, we're going to prep our green beans. So I have here about a pound or so of your standard green beans. I believe these are Blue Lake, but any standard green bean from the supermarket will work. Of course, we've trimmed the ends. And what we're going to do here, we're going to blanch these in some salted water for a few minutes to give them a head start. So I want you to add a good amount of salt to water, bring it up to a full boil on high heat, dump in the beans. It's going to take about 2 minutes or so to come back to a simmer. And once it does, I want you to simmer it for 3 or 4 minutes or until the beans are just starting to get tender. I'm going to say, just to give you a guide, like 75% of the way cooked. Okay? As soon as that happens, quickly remove them from the boiling water and plunge them into ice water or very cold water. You actually don't need ice, but it should be very cold. That's going to stop the cooking process. And then once those are completely cold, go ahead and drain them really well and throw them in a bowl. All right, so while our beans are chilling, we're going to go ahead with the last of the prep here. I'm going to take some sliced almonds and a little bit of butter on medium heat. And I guess you could use slivered almonds, but I like the sliced. I really like the contrast with the dark skin. But you use what you want. You are the boss of your nuts. And I'm just going to toast those for about 3 or 4 minutes until they just start to turn golden brown. All right, something like that. All right, once those are done, you're going to set those aside, and we're on to final assembly. And you know how much I love final assembly. So here we go. So I've tossed my now completely cold and fully drained beans into a bowl. We're going to add all the roasted garlic and any residual oil from the foil packet. I'm going to add an additional tablespoon or so of olive oil. I'm also going to dump in some salt, some freshly ground black pepper, and maybe a little cayenne. I'm not sure. All right, let's do it. Little cayenne. We're going to dump in our toasted almonds, and we're going to give that a nice toss. All right? And what will happen, that roasted garlic is soft and kind of sticky, and that along with the olive oil is going to coat those beans, and those almond pieces are going to stick to the beans, and it's going to be a beautiful thing. So keep tossing until it looks like that. At that point, we're going to transfer that into a baking dish. I'm going to distribute those as evenly as possible. If there's any sliced almonds or remnants of garlic in the bowl, of course, toss that in. And then last, but certainly not even close to least, we need some of this, a high-quality blue cheese. I'm using a variety called Point Reyes, which is just spectacular. Just a full-flavored, beautifully pungent blue cheese. And you don't need too much. I'm just going to crumble over here maybe 2 ounces. All right, a little bit goes a long way. All right, once the cheese is crumbled over, I don't know why, but I saved like a tablespoon of sliced almonds to top this with, which was kind of dumb because you can't even tell. But you know what? I had to explain the shot. And that is officially ready for the oven. By the way, do not give it the old tappa. All right, we don't just tap things because we feel like it. There has to be a reason to tap that. Do not abuse your old tappa privileges. So that's set. We're going to pop that in a hot oven, 400 degrees, for about 15 minutes or until the beans are tender and the cheese is melty. And it's going to look something remarkably similar to this. And that is done. A fairly exciting version of green bean almondine, if that's even possible. And what makes this so good? Check it out. Perfectly cooked beans, buttery, toasted, crunchy almonds, that sweet roasted garlic. Nothing like roasted garlic. Kind of the glue that holds all this together. And then, of course, everything gets elevated by that creamy yet very, very sharp, tangy, intense blue cheese. Just a beautiful combination of taste and textures. So if you're looking for a special occasion side dish, this would be perfect. But you know what? Forget about special occasions. This is also just a great, easy weeknight side dish to go with a plain old roast chicken. All right? So I really hope you give this a try. Head over to foodwishes.com for all the ingredient amounts and more info as usual. And as always, enjoy